What a brilliant start by Rick. Oh, Mr. Schumacher, an awful start. And Aston gets into the lead, and Rick casting off that quick.
So much traffic up in front, but here comes Epic now pushing Tiger. Tiger goes defensive to the inside. Tiger on the inside. Epic will try to go round the outside. One corner to go. On the last lap, this is going to be insane. So here comes Dutchy as well. Tiger is going to look like it's going to win, but it's a drag race for seconds. And somehow,
He's got the DRS.
And here he goes then down this mini back straight. And now he's on the brake.
Pepperley now he's going to be looking for DRS here. There's 4 drivers going at it. Dirty Larry goes around the outside. Oh, let's have a look here. Oh, it's Pepperley's going around the outside. Oh, the inside. Gets on the inside line. Brilliantly done from the Mercedes driver. Wow. Hello everyone and welcome back to another track guide here in Gavra Racing, and as you can see, my car goes flying past the long start finish straight. We are here in a track which it has 2 okay sectors and one sector that I absolutely hate, but yeah, some people do like this track. It's Fuji International Speedway, yeah, the quite famous Fuji, and yeah, we're going to be doing a track guide around here. So let's get started and straight into this very tricky lap around the Fuji International Speedway. Alright then, here we go around Fuji, and you can see how long this this straight is here in Fuji. Absolutely gigantic straight. Actually used to be a NASCAR track, this, back in the day. Final sector used to be a long curve, but anyway, braking halfway between the 100 board, as you can see there, and the 150 board behind. So braking halfway in between the 100 and the 150 board. Okay, I'm in the Nissan. I've got my brake bias on the -1 to the rear, so it seems to work really well around this track. So braking there, and it's pretty simple corner. This one down into second. Just turn the car in. Make sure you're hitting the apex right where that little pole is on the inside. Bringing the car out here, and obviously using the curb if you need to be. Tip for you, see that green AstroTurf on the right side? And I'm going to say this now, and I will say it for Suzuka, and I will say it for Spa. Do not touch the AstroTurf, because it will kill you. It will genuinely send the car off into the wall on the right hand side. The AstroTurf on any of these 3 tracks are deadly. I don't know why. It shouldn't be like that. It's not how AstroTurf works in racing, but yes, the AstroTurf will kill you, so do not touch that AstroTurf on the outside. If you are going to touch it, make sure you're not getting on the power on it, okay? So bring the car in. The first sector is really small. There's the 2 corners right there. And then, yeah, into the next corner. So we come through the sector split for sector 1 and down into the second corner, which once again you're going to start a little tad bit of braking, around about 60-70 meters, a tad bit of braking, and you'll be dropping down into 4th here, turning the car in, and you'll be aiming to go over this curb. If you touch the grass on the inside here, you'll get given a penalty, so make sure you keep your car on this blue bit on the inside, and you'll be fine. And then once again, onto the next part. Once again, you want to come out here, and you can have 2 cars on top of that red part there, but if you go over onto that blue part, you'll get given a penalty, so make sure you don't go over there, but you can have 2 wheels onto this red part here. Okay, this next corner here, you'll be coming off of that curb around about here. Then you'll be in 5th gear coming out of that corner. Bring the car round, keep the power on. This corner just isn't flat off. Start lifting around about now as you go through this next section. Stay in 5th gear through here. Bring the car across. Make sure you're lifting through that section and then brake in between the 100 and the 150 board. And then down into 2nd gear here. Turning in at the point of the apex, as you can see there. And you can actually get on the power nice and early here, because the corner opens out quite a bit on the exit, which is the nice thing about this corner, is it opens out here, so you can come all the way out wide here, and the game will let you do that. Then keep, once again, you don't need to go all the way to the left. Keep it to the right here into this next corner, and then keep it over to the right here. And then this is where you want to start moving to the left. Braking, you see that Dunlop board right there? Brake at that Dunlop board. Okay, so that's the braking point for this corner. Braking at the Dunlop board. Make sure you're braking in a nice straight line. Try to stay off the curb while you're braking on the left-hand side, because that will make the car will struggle to stop on the curb. But then, you know, use a little bit of the curb here to get the car turned in. Bring the car in here, and then this is where you want to be aiming for. And this is the start of the deadly final sector. So touch the grass on the inside, you'll get a penalty. Make sure you stay on this blue part on the inside. This is pretty much as you can cut that on that inside there. Don't get on the power, because you're going to be back again, just coasting through this next corner. And then once you're straightened up, then get on the power across that blue section. The game will allow you to do that. Then once again, bring the car over here. Now I usually start my braking, because you'll be going up into about 3rd or 4th here. I usually start my braking and turning just to see where that grass changes, just around about there. That's where I'd start to, that's where it changes from grass to AstroTurf. That's why I start to start doing my trail braking. Down into 2nd, bring the car across the curb here, out over this curb. Do not touch that AstroTurf on the inside. Same again here. Late apex, you want to start your trail braking just after where the AstroTurf starts here. Don't touch that AstroTurf. Bring the car in to hit the apex, and make sure you make the corner. It's alright if you run wide to about here. That's fine. If you run any wider, the game does sometimes like to give you a penalty. It's in this sector, it's quite... It's a bit sort of... It's not as clear where you'll get your penalty. Because this is just late apex after late apex. Once again, after you get out that corner, move over to the left as I just did there. And then again, just late apex here, and then just bring the car all the way around, following the corner, hit the apex here, and then away you go on the power. And you want to make sure the later apex you take into that final corner, the more power you're going to get out the straights, the better straight line you're going to get out the corner, down this huge straight, and it's so vital. Don't touch the AstroTurf there, because you're going to spin over into the wall on that right-hand side over there. So yeah, don't want to do that. And then down to the start-finish line. But yeah, that was a lap around the well, I was going to say the wonderful Fuji, but the controversial Fuji. And yeah, I'm now going to go on to a hot lap. So there you have it, a lap around the Fuji International Speedway. And something I forgot to mention when I was doing my talk through, was that this track, especially when you're in a race, for example, when the fuel's involved, the car isn't going to turn in as easily as it may have looked like in my hot lap. So you just have to be careful of that, especially in the final sector, and just be careful getting on the power, especially when your tyre wear starts to kick in. You want to be careful in most areas of this track, especially on those pieces of AstroTurf. Just be so careful on getting on your power. But yeah, try not to use first in these cars as well. First gear in these cars. In the Lexus, it's better because it helps the car turn in, but especially with the Nissan or the Honda, quite leery on the rear, so you want to keep the rear under control as best you can. So yeah, that's why you just want to be careful on the power in these cars, especially in the final sector of this track. But thank you everyone for joining me. Hope this has been useful as always, and yeah, I'll see you in the next track guide, which will be around the wonderful Suzuka. So we'll see you then.